Good evening, Tallahassee. I am Student Meteorologist Lexi Birmingham.
I'm Student Meteorologist Megan Berry.
And it is our Wednesday show, our worst nightmare show. Team leader Jay Carstens over here likes to call it that. And what a warm, sweltering day we had.
Yeah, it was way too hot for me, and it's pretty consistent temperature till about Sunday. I think we're going to see some rain chances, but
yeah,
still
definitely
hot until then. So.
Yeah, we're seeing this weekend rain chances, like you said, little temperature drop off, maybe the upper 70s. But
still not cold enough
for
me.
a while, we have to stick around with those 80s. Just it's going to be hot.
Yeah. Luckily, Stroger and Dirac are air conditioned, so when you're studying for your finals, you shouldn't be feeling that heat too much.
Yes, absolutely. And gorgeous weather for Relay for Life. Dylan is going to talk about that a little bit later. And nice evening. The temperatures will be nice for that evening.
Yeah, absolutely. And rain chances, like I said, on Sunday, so you will be inside studying. You're not going to miss out on any great weather outside. So
actually, the one thing I love today is the ice cream social that we had. Did you get to go to that?
I didn't, but it's a perfect day for ice cream. It was really hot today.
It was good. I had chocolate ice cream. It was totally worth it.
Oh, I'm really jealous.
Big lines, but it was really worth it.
Yeah, that ice cream's always worth it. So we're going to send it off with Cristina for an overview.
Thanks, Lexi and Megan. Now, on our weather sim camera, we have, this was yesterday, and we had a really great day yesterday, just like today. Clear in the morning, and then some clouds forming later in the afternoon. And as we look at today's almanac, we had a high of 83 and low of 62, well above our averages. And so here's our satellite and radar. Like we saw on our weather sim camera, not much going on. We had a few showers pop up over here in the western panhandle. And as for tonight's forecast, we have a low of 63 with some partly cloudy skies. Going to be a pretty warm night again, like we've had the past few nights. And our weather headlines for this week are we're having above average temperatures like we saw on our weather almanac for today. And this weekend we have some rain coming, so you want to make sure to grab an umbrella. And then we're going to have some slightly cooler temperatures after that rain. And now back to the desk.
All right, thank you so much, Cristina. Welcome to the show. That was her first debut, and she did a wonderful job.
Yeah, I did a great job. We're so happy to have you on FSU Weather.
I mean, we all remember our first time. It was very nerve-wracking, but you did wonderful, and welcome to FSU Weather.
Yeah, thanks for being on the show. So some stuff in weather history today. April 19th, 1996, Illinois saw 33 tornadoes.
Yeah, 33 tornadoes, one of the most memorable supercell outbreaks Illinois has ever seen in their entire weather history. I can't imagine going through one day seeing at least 33 tornadoes. Now, Oklahoma, that's nothing to them. Yeah. But Illinois, that's pretty intense.
Yeah, and 33 in one day, that's over 1 an hour, really, 24 hours a day.
If you think about it, yeah.
Yeah, so they did not get a break. The winds were estimated 170 miles per hour.
Yeah, supercell strength as far as I know when I looked this up. But the tornadoes did range from about EF1 to, I believe I saw at least one EF4 there.
Yeah.
And EF4s, again, are very destructive. It's not quite an EF5, but again, EF4s are very dangerous when it comes to wind speed and debris.
When you're getting 33 of them.
33 of them? Oh my goodness.
That adds up. So,
yeah, no kidding. Now we're going to head it out to the wall with our first look at our local with Nicole Steeves.
Thank you, Lexi. And like everybody said earlier, it's just been so hot lately, above average temperatures. But we are going to get a little bit of a cool down come Sunday, and that's because of a cold front that's coming through that's going to bring a little bit of rain and, like I said, that cool down that we need so bad. Currently, it's still pretty hot, 83 degrees in Tallahassee, mostly cloudy, so at least we aren't getting so much of that sun that we've had for the past few days. Humidity is pretty low as well, so we don't get that icky, sticky feeling. Current temperatures, 83 in Tallahassee, 82 in St. Mark's, a little bit down by the coast of Carabel, we got 79, and then farther inland, 86 degrees. So, like I said, just really hot, sweltering out. Local dew points, 62 in Tallahassee, 68 in Carabel. That's just saying that it's not too humid, but you're still kind of feeling the humidity. And locally, we aren't really experiencing many showers, but if you're by the airport, you did possibly see some rain. And we're just experiencing some pop-up showers from the sea breeze. Regional water vapor is just showing again how dry it's been and how nice and comfortable it is around our area. Just all that gray just means that it's very, very dry. And the futurecast is showing the clouds moving out of the area and coming back, and the green that pops up is just those sea breeze showers. And as you can see up here, Friday, there's going to be a front that's coming into the tri-state area. We won't be seeing that until Sunday. Tonight's forecast, we got 63 degrees for our low, so very comfortable out, partly cloudy skies, and even though there might be a stray shower here and there, nothing too serious, nothing crazy. Another warm night and pretty breezy as well. And for Thursday's outlook, we got pretty much the same thing that we've been seeing for the past few days. Hot, but still the heat is sticking around, and we got a slight breeze, 87 degrees. So make sure to bring some sunglasses and wear like light layers because it will be pretty warm compared to what we usually see. Boating forecast, wind at 10 to 15 knots, so light chop if you're going boating, and partly cloudy skies. And then for your 5-day forecast, so pretty much the same thing that we've been seeing up until Saturday, where there will be a couple of showers come the evening hours on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we're going to be experiencing that cold front, so we're going to have temperatures dip down a little bit and possible thunderstorms in the evening. But I'm going to pass it on to Megan with the Southeast.
All right, thanks, Nicole. Tallahassee's looking pretty great. Let's go ahead and pan out and take a look at the whole Southeast region. A lot of the same picture, really. Miami, Orlando, Tallahassee, all the way up to Huntsville. A lot of cloud coverage with that sun peeking out. Key West, always my favorite, like I say, perfectly sunny down there, so a little paradise. Current temperatures, pretty consistent as well. A lot of red throughout the region. That means it's pretty warm. You know, we felt that today. 83 was Tallahassee, 84 Montgomery. A little bit lower up here in Huntsville, 78. That's probably our high for Friday, but we were feeling really warm today in the Big Bend region. 84 in Shreveport over here, so really hot temperatures throughout the region. Hopefully that cold front's going to cool us off a bit because it's been peaking almost about 90 in the region. So our current relative humidity, 49. That's still kind of comfortable right now. Orlando, Miami, a little bit warmer, a little bit more humid, obviously, down by the water. Up here, a little pocket of drier, 40 in Tupelo, 58 in Little Rock. They're just a little bit more humid up there as well. So just a lot of different temperatures throughout the region. The southeast radar, looking pretty good for the Tallahassee region. We kind of got a clear zone right here with nothing much going on, but down here in the Gulf we see a lot of cloud coverage. North of us as well, some pop-up showers with some cloud coverage, but really nothing covering our area right now, nothing to worry about. But our watches and warnings, the state of Florida has some stuff going on over here. Right here, that's some rip current warnings. They're getting that onshore breeze. They're producing some beach issues right now. So if you're out there swimming in Orlando, Jacksonville beach area, make sure that you are watching for those warnings because rip currents can suck you under. We did a segment a couple shows ago about how dangerous those are. So make sure you're always keeping an eye out for those watches and warnings. Key West is seeing some small craft advisories, and we're going to go ahead and delve into what that means exactly. So what is a small craft advisory? Small craft advisory is cautioned by the NWS for operators of small boats and people that are out in the water, kayak, canoe, etc. So what happens is we have a 20-knot wind, and that creates about 7-foot waves, and it's very common in our region, especially in South Florida. We saw those around Key West area. Those happen after a cold front moves through. We get a lot of wind, get a lot of rain. That stirs up the ocean a bit, and that's just not safe to be out there. So we issue those warnings for those of us who do go out there to be careful. And as far as our drought situation goes, a little bit more on that as well. Only 0.93% of the southeast region is in a drought currently, but earlier in the year it was over 21%, so that is drastically lower. Thankful for that rain that hit us and dropped that number significantly. The southeast, when we talk about that 21%, is Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, and Alabama. 76% of that region is still in a drought, so hopefully that rain will come and cool us off, but not looking too great. Not much rain anytime soon. A lot of pop-up showers here. We're going to move it on into Wednesday, Thursday. Still just some stuff going on down here in the Gulf. Really nothing that's going to affect the state of Florida. Moving on into Thursday, Friday, still nothing really. Just these kind of paint splattered looking showers around the map, but really nothing drastic to kind of lessen those drought conditions. Tonight's forecast looking pretty great. 63 in Tallahassee. Tomorrow, still really nice, peaking at 89, so still very, very warm. But what do you think about that, Dylan, those warm temperatures?
I really don't like the warm temperatures myself, but we're going to transition into something different. This Friday is Relay for Life. So Relay for Life is the flagship event of the American Cancer Society, and it's an event at Florida State and other colleges and places around the country where they raise money for the American Cancer Society. So it'll be taking place this Friday on the intramural fields, the main campus intramural fields on St. Augustine Street, from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. So it's going to be 12 hours of staying up and trying to raise money. So you can see there, and the North Florida chapter, which I'm a part of and a lot of people on the show are, will be having a booth that is themed Sharknado. So if you want to come out and see us or Jake or just anyone you see on the show, you might see them wearing Sharknado or doing something related to Sharknado. It's just a great event to be out. The forecast for that, looking at temperatures at 83 degrees, starting the event at 6 p.m. But as the night continues, we get into temperatures in the 60s, and it's going to stay dry as well, which is really great. Last year, though, they had temperatures at the high was 72 and the low was 58 with some showers. So it'll be a better event than last year, which is great to have. So it's just great. I'm glad that I finally get to participate in it. I've heard a lot. Nicole has put a lot of effort into the North Florida chapter, so thank you, Nicole. But right now, we're going to actually send it out to Francesca for an outdoors and event look.
Well, thanks, Dylan. I am really looking forward to Relay for Life. I will be there supporting us for the AMS board. Right now, we're looking at the Coastal Marina Lab, which really has a beautiful looking sky. We have a lot of, here I am, beautiful sky, not a lot of clouds there during the morning, and then we see not a whole lot of clouds the whole day. Really just a nice day to the south of us. For our golf index tomorrow, we have a 4, no pun intended, because it will be hot, but it'll be nice and sunny, breezy, pretty nice day to be golfing. And on the sand, another beautiful day. We will have 5 to 10 mile an hour winds, light surf. The UV index will actually be a little bit lower than normal, moderate, which has been good. So you don't really, still put on sunscreen, but we've seen a lot of higher UV index ratings before. The water a little bit chilly for me, but 75. For golf, we have a game against Virginia Tech on Friday. And it's going to be a nice, beautiful day, 84, so go out, support your team. It's going to be a nice one to soak up the sun, support your team. And for our 5-day, we're looking at for these next few days, pretty much the same weather that we're having, 87, 86. And then on Sunday, we see that there is a chance of showers when there's a cold front coming through with our temperatures bringing us down. But now we're going to send it off to Lexi so she can talk about the tropics.
All right, thank you so much, Francesca. Now, you might be thinking, why are we talking about the tropics and it's only April? Well, we do have a subtropical depression as of right now sitting out in the Atlantic, so we're going to talk about that as of right now. But first, let's start off with some names that we are going to be seeing for 2017. We have Arlene, Brett, Sydney, and it just goes all the way down. Now, last year, we made it all the way to O. So this year, it's Ophelia, Nate, Maria, not Matthew this year. Matthew has been cut off from the hurricane names because of the drastic damage it has done to Haiti and the Bahamas and the east coast of Florida. So let's go ahead and take a look at possibly Arlene. Now, she's looking pretty good as of right now. You see that nice counterclockwise rotation and some nice convection with those high top clouds. But she is moving pretty slow at 12 miles per hour, and she is going more up north. Now, up north, there are cooler waters, so hurricanes really need warmer waters to survive in tropical storms as well. So basically the whole story is she's probably not going to last very long. She's just going to keep heading up north. She's not going to be affecting any land anytime soon. So again, just heading up north, going to die out. Maybe see Arlene, but the possibilities are pretty rare. So looking at our climatology for the month of June, what are some favorable paths for the upcoming hurricanes right now, just off the Caribbean Sea and into the Gulf of Mexico, where those warm waters are pretty much hanging around for the next couple of months. Now I'm going to hand it off to Dylan with a look at the national.
Thank you, Lexi. Right now, looking around the country, we're kind of feeling like we're in a desert in Phoenix. 89 degrees over there. That is the hot spot. We were warmer earlier at 86, but now we're down to 83. Still feeling warm outside. You can see around the country there is some rain with Detroit and Minneapolis. We're going to take a look at that in a little bit on that severe coverage that was over there. Water vapor for most of the country, seeing a lot of water vapor associated with that front. up in the Michigan and Minneapolis area in Indiana. So moving into the 24-hour temperature change, that cold front brought some 7 degree drop for them in Minneapolis, 3 degrees in Detroit, 2-degree increase in Boston, 8 degrees in Washington, D.C. Denver seeing a 10-degree drop all the way over here. Looking at that national picture, you can see this front that's kind of draped across the center part of the country. You can see the low pressure sitting by Kansas City, and you see all that disturbance moving its way east through Minneapolis and a lot of Iowa and other states. You can zoom in on that. Iowa, Arkansas, and other states were under an enhanced risk and slight risk dropping out from that. You can see Iowa right here. That's where the enhanced risk was mostly today, but it has definitely dissipated. Watches and warnings. I'm going to step off to look at this coloring book that we have here. All the way in Albuquerque, New Mexico, they have a red flag warning, and over in by Kansas City in Kansas, they have gale force warning winds, and you can see off the coast on the west coast they have some not rip currents, some small crest advisories over on there and down in South Florida. Moving into futurecast rainfall, you can see this front has already dropped some rain in Minneapolis, 1/2 inch, and it's going to start to pick up and drop rain across here. You can see it starts to increase and move into Detroit and the Boston and Northeast areas. But then towards the center in Oklahoma, you can see some rain pick up there as well. So tonight, looking at temperatures in the Billings being the coldest at 38 degrees, Denver at 37 degrees, Seattle at 46. Seeing a lot of 40s on the eastern or in the western parts of the country, but over on the eastern part, we're seeing warmer temperatures, 72 in Miami, 63 in Tallahassee. For tomorrow, though, seeing a beautiful day here in South Florida, but it's still warm around the country. The coldest place being Minneapolis at 52 degrees, Detroit at 74 degrees with some rain, and Washington, D.C. at 81. But right now, I'm going to send it off to Jake in the lab for a continuation on his series.
All right, thanks a lot, Dylan. As he was saying here, we have this little 3-part series on the low pressure systems that most prominently impact the southeast and Tallahassee region. Last week we talked in detail about how exactly these form typically in what we call the lee of the Rocky Mountains. And what we'll do is recap that right now for you in case you missed it. But first off, what even is a low pressure system? Well, pressure, as you may know, is related to the mass of the air above you. So the less mass you have there, the lower the pressure is going to be. Ascending air tends to diverge outwards at what we call the tropopause, which acts as a sort of a big cap really on the lower part of the atmosphere here. So air goes up, it can't go up any further, it goes outwards from there. And that is really what triggers our low pressure systems. So the main example we talked about here was bringing air over a mountain and bringing it back down. What happens here, when it moves its way down, it tends to warm. And warm air tends to rise, as we may know. So this is going to be causing a general pattern of ascent, and this is where really our big low pressure systems come from. Again, the lee of the Rocky Mountains being the biggest mountain range that we experience in the United States, although we do have some other ranges such as the Appalachians that can have some more minor impacts, and actually we're going to be talking about that a little bit next week. So how exactly does it move? Well, south of the low, air is brought back down the mountain, and if you have remembered, Lexi talked about it when we were talking about Subtropical Depression 1. When you have this low pressure system, you tend to have counterclockwise flow. So on the south side of the low, air is moving to the east down the mountain, and because of that, it tends to warm and again ascend. So when you have this happening, this rising air to the south, the low itself tends to move off to the south. So what we have here, again, rising air to the south means the low will move that way. And it's not just going to keep going down along the Rockies all the way over to Texas, because the further south it goes, you eventually have the influence of the Gulf of Mexico. So our good old friend right here. We talk about Gulf moisture all the time on FSU Weather being the real trigger for a lot of our daytime convection, especially in the summer. You get the southerly flow ahead of the cold fronts, and that's when things really start to blow up in our area. Well, in this case, you have really warm air here, especially in the wintertime months, which is when a lot of these systems really are a big deal around here. So because of that, this low is eventually leaking its way off to the south and then starts to gradually get pulled over to the east until the Gulf of Mexico really becomes the dominant source of really warm air being brought into the storm. So you'll have this eastward translation, although of course there's other factors that go into it, where you can have it shift to the north, to the south, even move directly over the Gulf of Mexico. But this is really where a lot of our big-time thunderstorms and severe weather outbreaks generally come from. So what about its future beyond the Tallahassee area? Well, we're going to have more about that in our final part of this little three-part series next week. But for now, Brooke Richardson's out at the wall with a look around the state of Florida.
All right, thanks, Jake. We have another weather sim for you. This one's from Fort Lauderdale. You can see the clouds rolling in the morning. It's really beautiful out there. You can see the wind blowing this, looks like a brush or a bush or tree or something. It's very beautiful. It goes to the nighttime. But let's go ahead and look around Florida. Florida was very hot today, as they were talking about for the ice cream social. A little bit cooler down in southern Florida, Key West at 79. Up in Tallahassee, we're at 83, so we're a little bit warmer over here. But it was a pretty nice day. We were pretty sunny in Pensacola and Key West. In Miami and Fort Myers, we saw a little bit of clouds, but weather was looking pretty nice all around Florida today. Our current dew points are in the 60s, 50s around our entire area. 70 in Key West, so it's going to be pretty muggy there. It's usually in Key West. Here in Tallahassee, we're at 62, so it's a little bit muggy here too. Definitely going to feel like a blanket outside. Our water vapor, we do see some moist water vapor coming up in the Gulf. None of it seems to be impacting us through Wednesday, though. We do see some of it hitting Fort Myers, West Palm, and Miami, but nothing in our Big Bend area. Current winds are pretty mild up here in the Big Bend. They get a little bit stronger as we go further south. Our highest over in Key West, but pretty mild day. They're all coming from all different directions, not really seeing any fronts coming through in our area. We have a few pop-up showers, though, due to the sea breeze storms. We have some in southern Florida and central Florida right now through Wednesday. But we are in a drought. So we are actually in a severe drought right now in central Florida. We aren't seeing much over in our Tallahassee region, but if you are planning on going outside, I wouldn't recommend starting a fire because we are very dry. We aren't seeing much precipitation. And tonight's forecast, we're pretty mild in the 60s and 70s in Key West. It looks to be a beautiful night, kind of warm, but pretty nice night. And Thursday's forecast, it's going to be a beautiful day. We're pretty sunny in our Big Bend area. We start to get a little bit cloudy as we go further south, and we actually see some showers down in Key West. So if you're in Key West, definitely plan to bring a umbrella. We're seeing our highest temperature in Tallahassee and our lowest in Key West, actually. But now we're going to go ahead and take it back to the desk with Francesca and Jake.
All right, thanks a lot, Brooke. Interesting to see that little temperature contrast between the north and the south here, although, of course, the entire state really hoping for a little bit more rain.
Yeah, we're certainly not seeing the rain that we normally do during the springtime because, you know, April showers bring May flowers, so I don't know where our May flowers are going to be.
Yeah, exactly. But on the bright side here, not really too much rain, a lot of sunshine means we got baseball. So
Yep.
Florida State baseball is actually in action right now, and it's never too late to go out there if you need something to do on your Wednesday night, taking on the Stetson Hatters over at Dick Howser Stadium.
DeMarcus Walker actually threw out the first pitch, honoring our great seniors. What he played for our football team, really a great player. So I love seeing that's how we honor our players through other sports.
Exactly, and on Saturday, Nicole and I were actually over at the baseball game where they retired J.D. Drew's number, one of the most famous FSU baseball players in history, and was, of course, a very dominant major leaguer himself. Of course, DeMarcus Walker, I can always hope the Bears draft him. We'll see about that when it comes time for the NFL draft.
I'm sad that he's not going to be with us anymore. It
we
really
got
breaks my heart.
plenty waiting in the wings, but for now, we got a pretty good local picture ahead, and Alyssa Pejic has more.
Thanks, guys. Yes, this weather lately has been, in my opinion, amazing. I love hot temperatures, and it's going to continue for actually the rest of the week. Currently, it's 83 degrees, mostly cloudy. The high of today was 85, so we're cooling down a little bit until the nighttime hours. It's dew point 62, humidity 49%, so it wasn't that uncomfortable like you see in South Florida, but it's still 49%, and the winds are coming out of the southwest. But for today's high temperatures, right now it says that it's 83 in Bainbridge, 88, and over by the coast, 80 in Apalachicola, which is normal around the coast because the wind off the water is going to bring in cooler air. And since we're more inland, it's a little bit difficult for us to get that cooler air off the coast. But for the dew point in Tallahassee, it's 62. Over by the coast, it's a little bit higher at 68 in Carabal and 68 in Apalachicola, which is normal because it's by the coast. It has a little bit more moisture. And dew point is really important because it shows the humidity. The closer the temperatures are to our actual temperatures, that's how moist it is. So it's really good to pay attention to that. So also looking at our current winds, Tallahassee 7, Apalachicola 10, Carabal 6, St. Mark's 7. And so you can see by looking at this, most of the wind is coming from the south. And when I look further on, it's going to show through the cast going out through the week. But for the satellite and radar, isn't much going on. There are chances for some isolated showers, but that's normal with a high to our east. Because of the sunny skies and the flow from the south, it's going to create moisture, so there's going to be some isolated showers. But like I said, for the future cast, winds are coming from the south and also the east going into tonight and tomorrow morning. The winds will shift, and it's going through this pattern right now where it's coming from the south, then coming from the east. And then going into Thursday night, continues to shift, and then see again, it comes from the south, and it's getting a little bit cooler in the morning hours, but gets warmer through the evening. But for tonight's forecast, 63 degrees in Tallahassee, partly cloudy skies, normal, winds from the southeast, St. Mark's 65, Carabel 65, and Apalachicola 65. Thursday's forecast, 87 in Tallahassee. The heat will stick around, so dress prepared, going to class, don't wear anything too warm, you'll probably be sweating your butt off. 84 Carabel, 83 Apalachicola. And planning for your Thursday, like I said, gorgeous morning, 64 degrees when you wake up, if some people wake up. 12 o'clock where most students do wake up, 80 degrees. Clouds are just starting to build up a little bit. Another hot afternoon, 85 around 5 p.m. But looking at the week ahead, Thursday, 87, Friday, 86, but going into Saturday, there will be a front coming through, and that's why there's a 70% chance of rain on Sunday. So definitely pay attention to that on the weekend if you're traveling and whatnot, and then get out of the way. It continues to have this great weather, but I'm going to send it back out to desk to finish the show.
Thanks a lot, Alyssa. That 7-day week, of course, the rainfall maybe not coming at the best time. Sunday, I had my golf plans. Look at that is going to be an absolute wash. But alas, we have about 5 days of sunshine to look forward to out of those 7.
Yeah, absolutely. And most importantly, that sunny sky on Friday for relay.
Of course.
I'm super excited.
Of course. And it's going to be nice to see a little brief cool down after the cold front moves its way through on Sunday. Here's that 7-day for you right now. Monday looking like my favorite day of the week. At only 78 degrees for the high. You know you're getting towards summertime when you can say only 78.
Right, exactly. I mean, I wish there was more of a cool down, but take what you can get.
Exactly. Tuesday, Wednesday looking just gorgeous as well. Some pretty cool nights to look forward to as well, although our average is still 53 degrees. So those are still above average for low temperatures, believe it or not.
Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram as well.
Of course. Follow us on twitter.com/FSU Weather, Facebook, as was already displayed right there. All the archived broadcasts also available anytime at livestream.com/guess the name?
FSU Weather.
How about that? And again, like Nicole said, I already gave the Instagram some love before I even had the chance to, so you really beat me to the punch there. Well, for all of us here at FSU Weather, pleasure to see you on this Wednesday. I'm student meteorologist Jay Carstens.
And I'm student meteorologist Nicole Steeves.
We'll see you tomorrow.